So this is the screen that you see when you go to decline an Uber reserve trip. It looks harmless. Just a few options, totally optional, right? But from a marketing and a PR standpoint, this is one of the most powerful screens in the app. So in this video, I'm going to break down how each of these lines on this page helps Uber control the public story about why drivers say no, and how drivers respond so that we're not just feeding their PR machine. All right, so on the surface, right, it looks like Uber's just trying to improve their product. But in reality, well, it's doing three things at once. It's collecting data, it's testing marketing copy, and, well, it's protecting Uber's reputation when things go wrong. So every time that you tap one of these reasons, you're not just declining a ride. You're helping Uber build a spreadsheet of polished quotes that they can use in the media and with regulators and, well, on their own marketing. So let's go line by line and let's translate this from a marketing and PR point of view. So that first one you're going to see is trip is too short and it's not worth the extra time. Well, this sounds like our voice, right? But notice the wording, not worth the extra time, not that the pay is too low. That's a big difference. Uber can later say, well, drivers told us short trips aren't worth the extra time, instead of, well, drivers say we underpay for short trips. So one protects the brand and, well, the other doesn't. So now look at this one, right? Go online is too early before pickup, or too much idle time without trips before the reservation, right? So these two frame the problem as scheduling and idle time, not that, hey, I'm sitting here for free. Well, again, it sounds reasonable, but it keeps the word pay out of the conversation. Now you got unlikely to get trips in the drop-off area. Now this one let Uber say, hey, drivers care about efficiency and utilization. Well, that's great for a talking point in an interview deck, but for us, well, it means, hey, I'm going to get stuck in a dead zone and lose money. So it's busy time and I prefer to do some on-demand trips. Well, now this is about preference. Not that, hey, the reserve rate doesn't match peak time risk and demand, but just that you personally prefer something else. That sounds much softer in a PR statement. Now here's a good one. Pickup location is too far away. Well, again, fair reason, right? But notice it's framed as distance rather than you're not paying enough for this distance. Well, the pattern here is the same. Behavior is described, but pricing, well, it's never questioned. Pickup and drop-off location is not safe or familiar for me. So this is a safety line. So now Uber can point to this one in front of regulators and say, hey, drivers always decline trips that they feel are unsafe. It shifts responsibility to us making that call. Well, they still look proactive on safety. Well, not available for this reservation. Well, this is a clean data option. If they want to keep that stat simple, well, driver just wasn't available. They can group a lot of declines under this. No one ever has to talk about the real reasons. And then you got other. Well, and then we get other, and that's the thing, right? This is the only place where you can actually type pay is too low or reserve rate doesn't cover my dead time. Well, Uber sees that text, but when they present the numbers, other becomes a vague bucket that's easy to ignore. As you look at all these together, you're gonna notice a pattern. Every option is written so Uber can quote it later without ever saying the word low pay or bad pricing. That's not just an accident, that's called marketing. So why does this matter? Well, because when the media asks, why are drivers declining reserve trips? Uber can pull this screen up and use it as a data source. They can say, hey, our data shows most drivers decline because of scheduling, distance, or personal preference. While working to better match those needs, that sounds a lot better than, well, drivers decline because our reserve pricing doesn't make sense for them. This is what I mean when I say the app is written as a narrative. If the only answers they give us are answers that protect their brand, then the story the public sees will always lean in Uber's favor. We can't change the screen, but we can change how we use it. If you're going to decline anyways, consider using other to be very direct. Rate too low for distance and time. Too much unpaid dead time. Reserve pricing doesn't match the risk. Will that instantly fix everything? Probably not. But it does two things. It keeps our language in their system, and it makes it harder for them to honestly claim drivers never mention pay when they pull the numbers. So remember, none of these options change whether a trip is good or bad for you. If the ride doesn't make business sense for your car, your market, or your time, decline first, worry about the survey second. So the next time you see this decline screen, understand what's really happening. You're not just tapping a reason, you're feeding a PR machine that was built without a low pay button.